Welcome to Bio News Network, where we take a look at different topics across the nation, politics, weather, and various types of events. Today, we're actually going to take a look at the average 401k balance by age, and we're also going to take a look at setting your New Year's resolutions for the year for 2023. So hold on, and we will actually be back, and we'll actually explore this topic of the average 401k balances by age and take a closer look at the National Weather Report. So as we take a closer look at the average 401k balances by age, we can actually see from this chart the age category from 20 to 29 to 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and 50 to 59, just to give you an idea of where you should be or where you feel you should be with your 401k balances. Of course, if you have been hopping from one company to the next as a result of the pandemic, it may be a little bit difficult for you to actually start to gain an edge. But there's no time actually better than now, especially the beginning of the 2023, for actually to take a look at getting started with your New Year's resolutions for investing. This is probably one of the best methods of being able to get into the retirement in investing. Most companies are able to set up 401k once you have perhaps a waiting period of maybe 6 months to 9 months. Some companies even require that you're actually on a job for at least maybe 9 months or longer before you actually are able to set aside and actually start earning a matching percentage if that's actually offered too. We have actually seen that some companies are offering anywhere from 5% to 7% on average. So this is actually free money on the table, and you'll actually be able to invest that money and back into your 401k balance and gain the benefit of interest compounding. So let's take a closer look at just the average 401k balances really quickly. We see that the median 401k balance is based on the typical index fund. We see that from the age of 30 to 39, and we anticipate that the median 401k balance is probably between 18,000 and 20,000. The average, the median 401k balance for 50-59 is somewhere around 60 to 62,000. And if you take a look at another index fund, on average, we can see from the age of 35 to 44, the median is somewhere between around $35,000. So this is just a gauging point for you to see where millions of other participants in the 401k marketplace are actually where they actually are with their savings. As a general rule, you want to be in the spot where you're actually going to be setting aside. If you're in the age group of 30, it's recommended that you set aside at least a 1x or 1 times your salary. And once you get into the range of 40 or 35 to 40, then you start setting aside 2x or 2 times your salary in your average 401k balance. It does require quite a bit of discipline, but the main takeaways here will be reduced in taxes taken out of your paycheck each pay period, as well as being able to earn dividends, and those dividends will be reinvested back into purchase of additional shares of whichever index fund you're actually choosing, or in some cases you may be able to spread out or diversify among different funds and different investment options depending on the investment company that's offered in this case. So we strongly recommend that for the year of 2023, even if it's to set aside the bare minimum so that you can actually earn the employer match percentage contributions, which is free money on the table, try and at least get the maximum amount of contribution that you're going to be provided by simply setting aside, if you can, An average goal or a typical goal will be 15% of your salary. If you're able to set aside that much, by all means, take advantage of investing in 401k. We're going to be exploring retirement accounts and different types of investment vehicles, especially for employees, as we go further and further, and how to set aside money for retirement, especially in the year when we're actually going to be seeing different legislation being enacted by our Congress to increase the set aside by employees for their retirement going into the near future. So we do want to emphasize it. If you're in an age group of 30, set aside 1x your salary if you can, toward trying as a goal. If you're 35, then 2x. And then of course, as you get closer to 60, 65, you should anticipate having at least 7x to 10x of your salary in a 401k account. So let's take a look at our national weather, and then stay tuned for our play of the national anthem. And thank you for tuning in to BioNews Network. We're actually looking at financial news as well as the weather. Stay tuned for more. As we take a closer look at the weather, we can actually see that there's a low pressure system off the coast of California, and that will actually be moving in further with more rainfall from what we're calling the atmospheric river that is over the state of California and off the coast. Of course, this has drenched the California coast and the Sierras with increased amount of snowfall. In some areas of the Sierras, we've actually seen a cumulative amount of over 60 inches of snow and more. And this is actually inundating the area of Sacramento and various areas of California with increased rainfall. And we do anticipate in the next 6 to 8 hours here on Sunday, we're actually anticipating additional rainfall going into Monday. And as that low pressure system makes its way further into the state of California, we actually see more heavy rainfall that will actually lead to possible increased mudslides, as well as torrential rain and flooding. Many of the reservoirs in this area have actually been completely filled as a result of the severe amount of rainfall received in the last few days and weeks. As we look across the rest of the country, we actually see in the area of northern New Mexico into Colorado additional colder weather with more snow. We actually see in Arizona that anticipating snow in the areas of Flagstaff. And as we take a closer look into the rest of the country, we do see a low pressure system in the area of Nebraska. And as you can take a look over in the east, there is a very tight low pressure system just off the coast of Pennsylvania and the northern states, and we anticipate that that will be bringing a severe amount of snowfall to the area of Maine and New Hampshire. As we take a look, we can actually see that as we go into Monday, we see that low pressure system closing in even tighter on the state of California, and we actually see more heavy rain, as well as combination of rain and snow in the northern states of Vermont, New Hampshire, as well as Boston region. And if we take a closer look at the forecasts for the country, we see that there's still quite a bit of drying out in the area of central Texas, and we actually see it across the board for the temperatures there. But you can actually see a severe rainfall anticipated for the region of California, with increased snowfall in the region of the Sierra, northern Sierra, California. And also we see that band of moisture making its way across Arizona and into the region of Utah. Central Utah will anticipate getting additional snow. The regions of northern New Mexico into southwestern Colorado will actually be receiving additional snowfall in that region. And if we go east, we actually see that there is cold weather warning in the region of northern Florida, and we can actually see the area of the northeastern area of the northern states, where we actually see anticipated additional snowfall in that region. And if we take a closer look at the temperatures across the country, we do see that in California, in the mid 50s, but we do see the dry area across the region of Texas going into Oklahoma and Nebraska. And this drying out will actually be shifting a little bit more to the east as we anticipate more colder weather will actually be coming further down into the next few days into the regions of Colorado, Utah, Idaho, as well as Wyoming. Additional snowfall. Of course, the Sierras will actually continue to receive additional snowfall in that region, and we do anticipate that there'll be a cooling off effect in the northeast, which will contribute to additional snowfall as well as rain in the northern states such as Pennsylvania, New York, as well as New Hampshire. Well, thank you for tuning in for our weather report and also our average 401k balance segment. If you're new to this channel, please by all means go ahead and click the subscribe button and look for regular videos each week addressing areas of politics, financial, as well as weather. Thank you for tuning in to Bound News Network. Have a good day.